So I've got Melbourne racing analyst Trevor Lawson. How you going, Trev?
Good, Mark. Thanks.
Yeah, so the big one tomorrow, Derby Day, kicking off the 4-day cup week. So you're going to be a very busy man over the next week.
Yes, it's always basically 4 meetings in 8 days. So it's sort of pretty much the only time of the year it's like this, and generally they're massive fields. So sometimes they're 9 and 10 race fields, but in effect it can be like a 12 race meeting, for a normal Saturday sort of thing where you got 9 races. So they're big fields. Horses come from everywhere, but hopefully, there's some value and we can find some winners.
So you got a bit of work to do.
Well, we've had a fair start on it, but it's sort of not much time to spare this week.
So Derby Day tomorrow. Always of a fair bit of concern over Cup Week is the track. Have you had someone walk it yet, or you
no? Someone will walk it at lunchtime for me. The issues today with the track will just be the rain. There's rain predicted from midnight tonight into tomorrow morning, and it'll just be how much they get. Last year on Cup Day, they got 2 inches in the old, so 50 mil, and effectively 2 races after it stopped raining, the track really was only like a good, dead fall. So it'll just be how much water he puts on prior, but I think he can probably wait as long as he wants. So if it rains during the day, that's when, and they race on it, that's when it tends to open up a little bit. But sort of going in, sort of just done it as even and fair, and until sort of something changes.
Because the track just like the drainage is just so good that we saw last year on Derby.
They drained it. I think it's 100 litres an hour or something like that, or 1,000 litres an hour or something. So they drain pretty quickly, and that's one of the issues why that they get firm, because they just can't get some. They can't get that much water onto them. Because they drain so well.
Drains quicker than you can water it.
All
right, we might have a quick chat about a few of the Group 1s tomorrow. 4 Group 1s on the card. Starting with the Empire Rose Stakes, race 5. In the market, Melody Bell, the New Zealanders, favourite in the market at the moment, about $3.60. Have you had a look at the race and got your thoughts?
I've done the race. It's a good race. It's a deep race. I've sort of got generic figures for her. It's a bit hard with her that you can't. There's sort of nothing come out of the races that's raced in Australia that you can sort of get a line on. She's very strong. She's got a good turn of foot, and the main thing with this race, because there's some other horses that basically don't have any sort of records at 1600. She flies at 1600, and she walked in last start over 2040. So I gave her the figures I had for her. I just gave her a little bit more, and I've got a favourite, but a bit longer than the market.
A couple of Godolphin horses quite well in the market. Punter and Savitano had a good win at Caulfield.
So Savitano, she was obviously a bit big first up, and she got beat last start. She returned to her form, but like the other one, they don't have any 1600 metre form.
Right.
It's had one run, I think it was Cox Plate date last year, over a mile. I haven't got the video left, but from memory, it sort of had every chance at sort of odds on, and got beat and sort of ran 7th. That was its only run at the mile. So I think it's a slight query. The other one, it's had a couple of runs. It ran 3rd in Queensland early on. It did win at Canberra on a slow track, so it's sort of got a better record of it. Last start it started favourite and just got too far back. I think it maps better tomorrow, and I sort of just preferred it slightly in front of the other one. I've actually got its second pick.
Right. Well, we might have a look at the race 6, the Group 1 Coolmore. Speaking of Godolphin, they're fairly dominant in this market too, of course, with Bivouac at $3.40 favourite at the moment. Simply luck at the Valley that got Bivouac done. The only thing with this race, I'm sort of not sure what I want to do. Is it won a Group 1 2 starts ago, yep, winning the Golden Rose, I think it was. Yep.
Then it had sort of a month off, and they went to the Manikato, so they've set it for the Manikato. It's got beat there, and then he's backing it up again. So this is sort of like its third grand final.
Yeah.
So I've got it favourite, but I don't really want to back it. But there's nothing else really in the race that I want to back either. So yeah, for me it's just sort of a watch race. It wouldn't surprise me if it won, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was over the top and ran 6th.
Possibly a bit wound up.
Yeah. So Microphone was well held first up. It strips fitter. It's had a jump out sits. Was only just in the jump out, but it didn't have its blinkers on. Cosmic Force is going well. Probably doesn't have the class of Bivouac, but if Bivouac sort of rates down and it can possibly improve, it's alright. And Exceedance beat Bivouac on the wet track and then was sort of held by it the last 2. Its chances would probably be enhanced if we got a wet track. I didn't really, outside those 4 horses, think there was sort of any other chances.
Yep.
Unless... Oh, sorry, Libertini. Libertini's second pick, the filly. But it sort of had, burst on the scene, flew first up, flew second up, got beat at the 1400, and then he's given it 6 weeks off and probably set it for here. So yeah, it's sort of going for like a second grand final as well.
Yeah.
It's just, and a lot of these horses haven't had experience down the straight, so it's just a smelly sort of race that I'm similar to the market at the moment, but I'm just happy to sort of give the race a pass.
No worries. Race 7, the Derby. Shadow Hero. $3.10 now. What have you got in terms of the market, and you're sort of close to that price?
Pretty much similar. Pretty much similar to the market in the first 3 horses. He ran well first up over 15. I've got a big figure for him second up over 1800, and then last start he ran on good, and he beat Castelvecchio, who finished up running second at Cox Plate. I had him rating down slightly the other day, but I think he can sort of still do the figure at least that he did the start before. So I've got him favourite at around the $3 mark.
Yeah, just drifted ever so slightly.
Yeah,
$3.10 now.
Yeah, but they're going. They're going an extra 500 metres, so it's new ground. It's it's a slight query. Soul Patch was terrific last start. He sort of walked in with the blinkers on. He could suck up behind him and got around him. I've got him third pick at sort of around what the market is, but again, he's stepping up 500 metres, and then thought of that. Walked in its past 2. Was handed the lead at Caulfield and just walked in. And it's around what price I've got it as well. So, and again, they're just they're stepping to this unknown distance. Probably the one that looks a staying type is Warning.
Yep.
It gets the jock change, it gets D. Oliver on, but I don't think it lacks the class of the other three horses. And then the Geelong Derby trial form, traditionally, it's never really measures up, and I doubt it would this year as well. I think the other horses have got more class than them. So again, basically, in ratings points, I've got half a length between the three horses.
Yes.
So it's a bump here and a bump there. So it's not really there's no margin to back all three horses.
Yeah.
So it's probably just another race that unfortunately just be watching.
Yeah. Sure. And the last of the Group 1's the Cantala. Pretty wide market. Night's Watch is favourite at $6.50 at the moment. It's been pretty steady, as has Fierce Impact at $7, and Royal Meeting, which is the raider that's coming just a little bit from $9.50 into about $8.50 now. As I said, pretty wide market. Is that the case for you as well?
Pretty wide. I've got Night's Watch favourite.
Yep.
Around the sort of $6.50 mark. He was unlucky. One of those horses he finds gets bad luck a little bit, but he's got a better draw today. He sort of won't be hopefully back on the inside like he was at Caulfield. The bigger track will suit him. I think the stable has a good record in this race. He had no luck last start behind Fierce Impact. Fierce Impact was super the other day, but on my figures it was a massive spike. It had done nothing like that ever before, and it was $20 on Betfair. So I would be surprised if it could do it again, so I thought it would possibly regress. Raw Meeting was in need of the run first up, hadn't raced for almost a year. It was okay, it was sort of strong late. It's got a wide draw. I think it'll get caught wide early on, so it's a slight sort of negative with it. There's some other horses that sort of, I think 50 Stars has got a good chance. I think it maps well, and I think it's slide overs in the market. Sharanka Bad is one of those horses that's unlucky all the time, but wider draw helps it a little bit. But again, it's just one of those races. You sort of got Night's Watch sort of favourite, and then there's a lot of horses, between 12 and 14 to 1 chances.
So pretty tricky, and becoming a big part of your job is trying to read these markets in terms of where to bet. So you've obviously been doing a lot of betting late on the exchange, but also trying to find a bit of value in the earlier fixed prices in the morning as well.
Yeah, I suppose you would think that these type meetings now that there's going to be a much more volume in the tote pools and all that than normal. So in theory, you would think a lot more of the betting would be done late.
Yep.
But it's not always the case. But because the pool, the bigger teams, they can actually play into the tote pool and pretty much get all their money on. Where a normal meeting nowadays, there's no money in the pool. But this is the one. These 4 days are the days where the public participate, and mainly the public just bet on the tote.
Yeah, sure. So we'll keep an eye on your rated prices and look for a bit of movement in the market on race day.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thanks for your time, Trev.
Great. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everyone.